technically, that's not entirely true. The vigil is not gone. The Selamite Order still exists. We've taken them under our wing in an alliance of sorts. It is greatly reduced and does not feature the same degree of skill that its predecessor order had, but it does exist.
Would they be interested in taking up their previous post? Resuming their previous post?
I don't know. They were responsible for a lot of deaths, and I don't think the Concilium... I'm sorry. I know for a fact that the Concilium is not willing to forgive them for that. Never mind due process or trials or any sort of edification of why they killed these people, because of course the Concilium doesn't give a damn, but the Concilium is not willing to forgive them, and that much has been broken. Do the Selamites exist? Yes. Could they train a new generation of warriors? Presumably. Maybe. Many of their special forces, shall we say, awakened as Johnny. Those that didn't moved on elsewhere as just mortals. Men and women. Are they suitable as a new vigil? Probably not.
Well, a new vigil needs to be, because I can assure you that the returning of the God Machine, once it returns, expelling it is a great deal harder than keeping it out. And once it assumes control, it will not give it up.
Can you grab my ice from the table?
And any control that you think you have will be gone. It is a power unrivaled in anything that you do. Perhaps if you don't mind, let me borrow in some of your more esoteric terms. You might consider Atlantis as a whole could have been a peerage at its height, but Atlantis has since fractured.
I don't subscribe to mythology, but I know enough of what you're speaking of to get your drift.
So would we like to start over from the
Yeah,
very
probably.
first interruption?
Yes.
What is the vehicle by which the God Machine intends to enter Civis?
It's the solar plant. Yes, I know. As I said, the parties I work for initially wanted the solar plant. I wanted the solar plant. But the God Machine is a concept of order and structure, control, and creating structure gives it that inroad. I believe a symptom of its return can be found with some more recent news of claiming eminent domain over parts of the warehouse district.
I heard about that. I'm not pleased. I certainly don't. Never mind. We're not here to discuss politics. Not in any sort of fine stroke.
No. Simply that this particular movement seems like something that would be a symptom.
Use my blood
The
for
God
sorcery.
Machine making inroads. It is creating more structure where there was no structure.
We need the power plant.
Yes. Our goal, the goals of the parties I represent, is not to prevent the power plant. That cannot be done at this juncture, at least not without drastic means that nobody wants to take. We simply want to prevent the God Machine from using that to make inroads. We believe that the best way to do this is to create a new vigil, as Ryohan has so politely guided us.
Sorry, Murata, your dog got out. I'll take care of that.
Most incompetent secretary ever.
Ever.
It's alright. She's fired.
Have you heard her making coffee? Thunk.
She's like cutting the beans by hand.
These beans will be ground shortly.
Why you serve coffee? That was loud.
Good! Be more loud!
Loud. I'll just speak to everybody in clapping.
Like that. No.
Careful, you may have just offended somebody who actually speaks in clapping.
I assure you, they do not watch these videos.
Nobody watches these videos.
Nobody watches these videos. Sad but true.
I feel so loved.
Yeah.
So loved, you guys.
Do your interested parties have a proposal?
For creating a new vigil?
Something, anything. Something I can take to my constituency and say we're not supporting the power plant anymore because devil.
Calling God Machine the Devil might actually work better.
Yes, perhaps. Some new rebranding.
The Devil Machine.
As I said, it is not the power plant that we need to stop. It is more esoteric than that. The power plant can go on as planned. We just need to stop the infrastructure. If you are going to weave a spell into a foundation of the building, you don't have to prevent the building being built to stop the spell. You just have to find a caster and stop them. Especially if you want that building there.
Not my MO.
I just burn it all!
These should be Nisi's favorite.
Not what she said, but not a bad interpretation.
Well, if that's not your MO, you're really going to disapprove of this next bit. I believe the Free Council is going to need to work with the Concilium.
No. I'm sorry. No.
Chugga, chugga, chugga.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
You said no, Cha.
Was that a yes? Oh, it looks like that's a yes.
Let me alter reality for a second, in a way stronger than your magics ever have.
What would you like me to roll?
Presence plus. Shit.
How many times did you
Intimidation,
go-
socialize, or persuasion, your highest.
If you look really closely, you can see the character sheet flash in front of her tits.
God, no, because I might be remembering it wrong.
Don't quote me on this.
Spend a willpower.
Okay. And I trust you're using your condition.
Well, yeah, that's going to be 3 as an exceptional success.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
You do have to. You always have to declare that you're using a dice strike before you roll the dice.
Oh, okay.
Generally speaking. Some powers let you bypass that. I think there's a mage attainment that lets you roll something after you've already rolled.
Nock, do you want to roll for me?
No, not allowed.
We'll send her good wishes.
Oh, fuck my life.
Would you like to make it a critical? Oh, you've already done that this scene.
Yeah. I don't think she needs to.
Well, that's not terrible, I guess.
Is there at least one success in it?
There's 2.
Yay!
My exceptional success is on 3. I rolled 9 dice.
Well, shit.
Statistically speaking, you should have gotten 3 successes.
Yes.
Damn statistics.
Never very accurate.
Why do you betray me? I'm fed up with this world. Okay. Well, I got 2 successes.
Okay. So you say. So what do you actually say? And what did you roll?
I rolled 2 9s.
No, I mean, what ability did you roll?
Persuade.
Okay.
You have a common enemy. You don't need to set aside all of your differences in order to stop this threat. But I assure you, your differences aren't going to matter once this threat comes to fruition.
An armistice rather than a treaty.
Mm-hmm. All of your.
I'll consider it. Our disagreements with the Concilium come down to a variety of not just philosophical, but simply operational concerns.
All of which will be nullified by the presence of this threat. It will subvert your free will in ways you won't even be aware of.
Do you know how the Free Council split from the Concilium, or why? Do your parties know?
If they do, they have not seen fit to tell me.
It's like we're two.
Stop being distracting. It's the same plan.
Sorry. I'll pull this RPG over.
There is a knife on the table.
Oh, man.
I'll throw a pillow instead. Knife is kind of deadly, so I'll throw a pillow instead.
Thank you, Amy. I can't promise that my organization will go along with what the Concilium wants. I can't promise that we're even willing to work together. It's a democracy, that's not how this shit works.
An actual proper democracy, then.
Yes, in fact. Sometimes beneficial, sometimes not.
You can offer to talk to the conceal or the whatever they're called, concilium
No, they're not the kings. Oh.
or whatever they are. What are they?
The council?
The council.
Yes.
An attempt to convince them,
Send Vivian in.
or you can send Vivian in.
If it would make things easier to understand, I am at liberty to set up a meet in between you and whomever you need, and whoever makes these decisions, whatever parliament exists in this council. I assume, unless you just call it a council. It's very repetitive and unimaginative.
And you have such great names for everything else.
I know, right?
It should be like the House of Cups or something fun.
They just love naming things.
In fact, they have a name for that. They have a name for the act of naming things.
The card writer.
Whatever
Let's
Senate
keep
or
our
Parliament
names.
you have that you need to present to with the representative greater than me of the party that I represent.
Yes, massage my brainstem.
I'm not joking when I say democracy.
Mhm.
I mean a literal democracy. Every member gets a vote, unless you're prepared to present to the entirety of my order, and the Selamite order as well. It's a moot point. The senators are, for the most part, figureheads. They're a chain of communication, but very little else.
Well, that might be arranged if you would gather the entire Free Council. I would have to speak with my superior and see if they are willing to do that.
Actually, I think
I'm going to warn you, Nikki,
just possess them.
there are deep
And she's not telling
wounds between us and the Concilium. Not just on the Concilium side. There are damn good reasons why we left. Reasons I'm not going to share with an outsider. But
Wounds won't heal if the body is dead.
that much I understand quite clearly.
Moro says otherwise.
It's not part of the analogy.
Leave her out of this. Poe can fix it.
I will do what I can tell me when your superiors are available for a meeting. I appreciate this information. I appreciate knowing that Leohan is safe. I'm not convinced that he's acting of his own volition just quite yet. I need more proof than that, but I have the means to gather such proof by myself. If you have any further proof, I would always appreciate hearing of it. That being said, I will launch my own investigations with what I know from them.
Pepperoni parmesan
Right.
is super tasty.
It's like it's on pizza or some shit.
Right?
The best parts of? Yes.
That being said, I don't have anything else. I'm not convinced he's not gone. I'm not convinced it wasn't the Concilium. And I will need to convince a room full of 30 people that it wasn't, so I damn well better be absolutely certain.
TIL, there are only 30 members of the Free Council.
She could have been rounding.
Up.
Actually, no. If she was rounding, she'd be rounding down. There were 30 councils before the Watchtower went up. There were 30 free council before the Watchtower went up.
Barring the aid of the Free Council as a whole, is a Selamite order, the remains of, allowed to operate independently. And if I were to convince them to reclaim their previous mantle, would I?
That would be much more doable. I could certainly write an executive order allowing the Selamite order, the free council, or the... I could certainly write an executive order allowing Selamites to resume training or education in their previous methods to anyone who would wish it, including those from outside of the Free Council. It would be risky, and it might very well constitute political suicide, but I could do it without the need for a vote. If you have a group ready to go, it would be easier to sell.
I'll do my part, and I will be in contact.
Alright.
Well, mine didn't go as well, but that's because democracies.
I know, right?
Hierarchies are so much easier to deal with. I want to talk to that guy.
You can't talk to that guy. Oh, yes, okay.
I suppose you can talk to that
I suppose you should talk to that
I
guy.
think that guy wants to talk to you.
Also, one person that you spoke to does not have designs for open warfare. The other one does. Your call as to who's who.
I don't know if it's too late because I can't remember the order they come in, but she also triggered the other part of her condition that makes someone else do her dirty work.
Yep.
That was beat, or that was the beat
Oh, yeah.
before resolution. So resolution came before beat, which means, I mean, whatever.
Nobody fucking cares.
Nobody fucking cares.
Technically, she's going to be doing the dirty work of outing herself as the demon, which we had already decided before.
No, but you went from, you had the opportunity to go and speak to the council yourself, and you passed it along.
That's true.
While you passed it along to a better person, it was entirely within your right to pursue it as your own speaker.
That's a good point, actually. Well done.
Especially as
Very tempting. More work. No,
yeah. Does you take it?
Fuck this.
I like this cover. It's my only cover. You have extra covers. You bring one of yours.
Fuck this shit.
The 30 people? Yeah, no.
Excuse me.
Maybe I can get the consul to do it. I'm sure he has extra covers.
Well, we'll loop the console into this as our own piece, hopefully.
Here's hoping. Hoping.
If we can get something truly Machiavellian going on here. all the pieces will move, and we'll
Meanwhile,
just sit back and go.
I am as Detective James Mathers because it is the least suspicious that I'm walking around looking at things and investigating something.
right. Oh, pause. Right. Important side point before this scene happens. I keep hearing phantom sounds of the cameras, so I'm like, what the shit?
Beep, beep.
Beep.
You finish obviously before Vivian gets back, so you have time to return to your lodgings before you receive the email report from Vivian.
Well, I'll send a report to you also. saying that-
Encrypted through her.
However, by the time she sends that, you're in the shadow, so you don't get it until you come back out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go to send a report and you have a report waiting for you.
Yeah, which essentially says that if you're willing, I need you to go loud in front of the free council.
Not necessarily go loud, just
Not necessarily go loud.
I
just
get the
present
gist.
your-
I get the gist of it. If you wanted to say I need someone to go loud for the free council, you.
That'd be me.
Actually, if we were to take on the free council, I hope we'd all be there because you know.
We'll have to take on the free council. Just
Well, that's the whole purpose of going loud is to take on what's in front of you.
And squash it, and hopefully you get away soon enough.
Yeah, to squash it really fast so then you can get away.
going demon form is one thing. Going loud is specifically for killing.
Kill what's in front of you and run the fuck away.
Because there will be an angel shortly after.
If what was in front of you wasn't already an angel.
Yeah. So, camera, cinematic scene. Cutscene. Camera, dark room, apartment. Mather's apartment? I'm pretty sure it's Mather's apartment. Cell phone rings, hand pulls it out, looks at it, unknown phone number, puts it away. Happens again. Cell phone rings, pulls it out, looks at the unknown phone number, ignores it, puts it away. Happens a third time. Finally, pulls it out, answers. Hello? Camera pans around so you can see Victor. Talking on the phone. How did you get this number? No, I'm fine. No, trust me, I'm fine. Look, I don't care what Al says. I'm fine, and I'm happy. Yes, Mom, really. Now stop calling me. Where are you? No, no, no. No. You don't need to come.
Please tell me she's an evangelistic Baptist.
She's one of the werewolf.
Look, I don't have time for this. I gotta go. And he puts the phone away. Back to you two.
Stepmom's coming to visit.
That'd be terrible. Because, yeah, I killed 80% of the pack Victor was a part of.
No, you killed all of the pack that Victor was a part of.
Except for
for Victor.
Yeah.
So what's his mom doing around?
Yeah.
Does Victor know you killed his mom?
No.
No. Victor does not know that I am responsible for the death of his pack.
Jerry.
You were saying that I was the one acting the most demonic. Bald-faced lies, sir.